Hey, thank you for coming back to the video, Ferox, guys. Tonight we are going to be reviewing... Behold, fools. We are going to... Video Ferox is unleashing 10 tons of mayhem in a 5-ton box. Action USA. Cue the trailer.
Fuck. You're not so lucky now, asshole.
See, but Billy Ray was the only one that really knew where the diamonds were.
Yeah! Hey, Billy Ray, Frankenstein's a dream!
Now you have them. And I want them.
Clay Osborne, I'm here to help you.
Get off of me!
Tell him I want the broad back here alive.
Jump it!
Boss called in Drago. He must want him bad.
That's quite an outfit.
When in Texas, I dress like a Texan.
All right, fight! Find him, goddammit!
Alrighty, welcome back from the trailer to Action USA. So, Ian, did you like Action USA? Yeah, it's good. It's a fun film for action. Very much so. I managed to not find anything to make me go, God damn, with this film. The movie is not quite as insane as the trailer makes it out to be, and it's not quite as batshit off the rails as, like, The Man from Hong Kong. The movie is essentially just a bunch of stuntmen saying, let's get together and make a movie. And they got together and made a movie. And it's about as deep as you would expect from a project like that. Yes. That said, I fucking love this movie. Tony just bought the Blu-ray of Action USA. What did I do? I bought a digital copy so that I can stream watch it wherever I go. So I guess that's a glowing endorsement of the movie. Yeah, it's good enough. And I did this because it's one of those circumstances where everybody, if I'm on a 4-hour flight going somewhere, I need a movie. Oh, Action USA. Perfect. I'm going to just kill my brain cells for the next hour and a half. It's perfect that way. Yeah. Don't walk away from it expecting a story that you will be able to fall back on and go, that was really a cool movie. Not because of the story. So, you'd recommend the movie? Yes. I'd recommend the movie. I'd recommend it unabashedly, something or other-y. Yes. All right, so should we just move on to the spoilers and talk about the action from USA? Sure. All right, spoilers ahead.
Say it. Because we're the same person.
So he didn't want to say this for fear of repeating himself, so I shall say it for him. This is an incredibly basic plot where it's essentially, okay, how did I put it in my notes? Bad guys want diamonds. Girlfriend has the key to finding the diamonds. They chase the girlfriend, shit blows up, roll end credits. That's the story. That's the movie right there, pretty much, right? Am I wrong? Yes, you got it spot on. The story opens with probably the most machismo car driven by the most machismo man with... Well, when you've got 70s vintage Corvette Stingray, blue, convertible, And sticking out of the hood is about 1.5 feet.
How he sees around this blower, I do not know. But he's drinking. His license plate says Texas XXX or something like that. Something goofy like that.
Yeah. The car is in the movie because the makers of the movie are just sitting there one day and they look out the window at the truck stop, the gas station, wherever they were at, and they went,
"That's amazing. We need that car."
And they got the car.
And so Mr. Machismo, he and his girlfriend, who is the female lead of this whole movie, they wind up driving to his place, and they have a little rumpy-pumpy time. That's when the mob shows up, and they just bust in the door and grab the dudes like, "Where's our fucking diamonds?" Okay, there are many complaints about this movie on a technical level. I do have one serious complaint here, is that the dialogue for this sequence, and like when they're in the helicopter right afterwards, the dialogue is impossible to hear. They didn't bother ADRing anything.
No.
And the volume of the music is way too loud, and so you're gathering what's going on by inference and what snippets you can hear, but not actual clear communicated dialogue.
Yes. This is the first bit of where there's no holds barred in this movie. And the girl gets clocked in the face. I mean, pow! And she's got blood running from both nostrils and spends the next 10 minutes of the movie?
Yeah, they grab him, take him off, and they're going to interrogate him and get the diamonds. And their interrogation method is they grab him, put him in the helicopter, fly up into the sky, and then hang him out the fucking side of the thing. And the beautiful thing is that this was shot down in Texas, down in Austin, I think it was. And the Austin Film Commission, they didn't really have a lot of... They loved having film come in and do stuff.
Yeah.
And so when they rolled into town and said, "Hey, we want to shoot your movie," they absolutely bent over backwards. They said, "Hey, we've got a house that we're going to demolish over there. Do you want to do something with the movie? We want to blow that house up." "Absolutely. Here's your permit. Here's a match. Go." And they blew that fucking house up.
The guy driving the car is this innocent bystander who happened to get run off the road, and his car goes through the house, and he actually leans out the window and goes, "Sorry about the house," and it drives off.
And then the house, for no good reason, decides to just explode in this massive fireball.
Yeah, it's the kind of explosion where it splinters. There's nothing left.
Oh no, this house is done. And they're zooming along like through the streets of Texas, of Austin. And she's chasing him in the Porsche. And this is another point where the city film commission said, "What do you want to do?" "Well, we kind of like to fly a helicopter through the street." "Close! We'll close the streets and do it." And so this fucking insane helicopter pilot is driving his helicopter probably 40 feet above the street through these skyscrapers.
Yeah, with a guy hanging out the side. Wow, what a view.
So after the sequence, they drop him into the water. And this is the first of the high falls that we get in this movie. And I am an absolute chump for high falls. I fucking love them. So he drops maybe 100 feet from the helicopter into the water. And unlike every video nasty we've seen, that's not a dummy. That's a dude taking a jump from a helicopter into the water.
Yes.
And should have died.
They set it up very carefully, and this stuntman did his job. And he swam to shore.
Meanwhile, the helicopter's run out of gas, and the helicopter pilot's like, "Dude, we got to sit down. What are we going to do?" And they commandeer some other dude's car and said, "Chase that car, follow that car." And off goes the car chase, where we hit every single goddamn car chase trope that you can imagine. There's dudes walking back and forth on the street carrying a pane of glass, basically.
Yeah. The car leaps over something and crashes through a camper trailer or rolls multiple times.
There's just like one scene where they take a hard turn and the girlfriend, she almost falls out, and the stunt woman almost falls out of the car. Her butt drags on the ground as they're driving along. So this is a really impressive sequence.
Yeah. You want action? This is the movie you watch.
And that's when the FBI agents show up.
Yep. The FBI team, white guy, black guy. The white guy is in a green fatigue jacket from the military fatigue jacket.
He's got big hair. He looks kind of, not quite hippie-ish, but definitely hippie-ish.
The FBI agent, black, clean cut, suit, tie, kind of held back, conservative in his mannerisms and his speech. I'm just like, okay. That's not a bad point, though. You recognize what they're doing.
Unlike Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, however, these two, they don't really have the chemistry together.
No.
I mean, they're fine enough actors, and they work well enough together, I guess.
Yes, the actors recognize that their characters are supposed to have a relationship, and you see the effort, and it's not bad, it's not cheesy, it's not, but you can recognize that the actors are like, okay, we've got to make this. We're friends, we're buddies, yeah.
Again, you're looking at where the source of the production is coming from. A bunch of stuntmen saying, let's do some stunts. They're not going to really be thinking of, okay, we need to have maximum depth for the characters.
Yeah.
No, the character is about as shallow as a teaspoon.
These bad guys, the three of them, the one guy who spends most of the time driving the car, I don't recognize him. The guy playing, God, I can't remember the character's name. See, that's how memorable this film is.
Hey, that's Cameron Mitchell. That's all I can remember.
Yeah. The main henchman in his cowboy hat and his trench coat, he's recognizable. You'll see him and go, I've seen him before. And then the other bad guy, because it's a trio on this team, he also is somebody where you're like, yeah, I've seen him before too. So there's recognizable faces. And then, of course, like Tony's already mentioned, the two particular ones. One is portraying the head FBI agent doing the duty in the FBI office.
Yeah, he's the boss of the two agents in the field.
When you see who it is, it's kind of like,
oh, he's the bad guy. He's totally the bad guy. And, shocking, he turns out to be the bad guy at the end, or one of the bad guys at the end.
yeah. Cameron Mitchell, he's better known as always playing the mafioso.
Well, he actually had a career, if you go back to the 40s and 50s, he actually had a legitimate actual career. It was only towards the 70s and 80s he started appearing in schlock like this and Low Blow. And, God, he's been in a couple of video nasties where he's basically shown up on the set, kind of drunk. Give me my goddamn paycheck. I'll read my lines. Great. Get the fuck out of my house.
When you first see him, he's in a hot tub with two girls. And it's clear that the scene is supposed to be he's in a hot tub with two girls. One of the two girls is kind of like sitting there like, I'm just here for scenery, knows she's there for scenery, and isn't putting any effort into it. While the other girl is like, ha ha ha, all over him.
Okay, I'm being paid, I have to do a day's worth of work, and I get to hang out and watch some titties. How is this a lose for me?
Yeah, he chews the scenery, does it, he chews it. It's like that the old English guy with the teacup and the finger up. I mean, he's there. He's in it.
So the first 18 or 20 minutes of this movie is nothing but action-packed action just injected directly into your eyeballs. It slows down for a little bit as they start doing some little investigating, as they start trying to get away, because they're trying to get across the one of the borders of Texas to get away, so they can meet up with other FBI agents, get the girl into a plane and off to a safe house somewhere.
We work our way into the fricking building, and there's a running gun battle.
And he's like, click, click, and it's like, your luck just ran out. Grabs the diamond, and then throws him out the window. And it's a fucking high dive, a legitimate 12 or 15 story off an office building. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God, if the wind shifts just a little bit, if they did this wrong, this dude is dead. But no, he managed to, well, not die, I'm presuming. And I fucking love high dives. Oh my God.
Lethal Weapon opens, the first Lethal Weapon, opens with a prostitute diving off a balcony. It's a high dive. She's fluttering, get down and down and down and down, and into the top of a car. And that's how this high dive ends. It ends almost the same way. The guy goes right into the top of a car. Wham!
So the second jump over a kind of a gully wash ravine thing, So the FBI agents, they punch it, make it the jump, no problem. The other car goes over, doesn't make the jump, crashes, explodes, because every car that lands badly in this movie explodes. And the dude comes staggering out. He's on fire, and there's this little touch. He's been leaning out the car and shooting at the FBI guys all this time. So he comes staggering out. He's still got his gun in his hand, and he's firing the guns as he's dying and collapsing. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, he's just like, bang, 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 thud.
The first time we get a stop at a gas station, I'm assuming that because the camera is low to the ground and it's a close-up on the... this is back in the day when you had to actually flip down the the license plate, and that's where you put your gas nozzle in.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of shots of them focusing on this, and then they say, hey, that's the FBI guys, get them! And they pile into the car, and they drive the fuck out without pulling out the nozzle. And when the first time I saw this, I was like, okay, they're going to pull out the nozzle, and that's going to cause a spark, which will then cause the gas station to blow up. Sadly, this does not happen. No. However, the next gas station they stop at blows up like a big-ass motherfucker, and these tires go flying just through the air, really lazy. And I just loved that little touch of this massive explosion. So that's going to be my favorite visceral moment of the movie.
And I expected the exact same thing. It's like, the nozzle's it's still in the car, and they're driving away.
Nope. Blue balls.
What the? God damn it.
But it delivers the goods a little later on.
Oh, yeah.
There's the fist fight in the
honky tonk.
The honky tonk, which, I mean, okay, the movie kind of slows down a little bit there, and it's now we're going to have a musical number in this action movie. I have to give mad props to the cowboy who is in fact so incredibly racist that he's about to go throw shade at the black FBI agent, but he's brave enough in his sexuality to wear a pink cowboy shirt.
Yeah.
Okay. But of course then there's a good old boy roundup and there's a black agent, so we're going to cause some trouble, and well, things go badly, and then it's fist fight.
It's one of those, everyone starts throwing fists at everybody. But the bit leading into that is really freaking hilarious is Riggs, the guy I call Riggs. He's at the window for getting in. He's like, well, I'm an FBI agent. And the gal's like, I don't care. It's $5. He's like, I'm an FBI agent. And she just, I don't remember what the guy's name is. But it's like,
Tiny, come over here.
Tiny, big lumbering guy comes over. Don't care who you are. Pay the lady. Okay. And $5.
I like the first time where the black one was trying to get into the bar, and he's like, it's like, he pulled the same shtick. It's like, I'm an FBI agent, and she says, great, I'll give the FBI agent a rate of $5, which was what it's to get in. So, she had no fucks to give.
Yeah, this lady, it's obvious she's a local who got tapped to be in the movie.
Oh, absolutely.
And she's fucking awesome, because she's just like, I don't give a fuck who you are. It's $5. And the bouncer comes over. Pay the lady. Okay, $5.
Yeah, sure, no problem. And so the honky tonk bar does kind of slow the movie down a little bit.
But there is a moment here, and it's one of those moments. And now, I'm remembering something in where it happens. This is one of the moments where they demonstrate. They have dialogue, interaction, where you see, okay, they're supposed to know each other. There's supposed to be a chemistry. They're partners. And it's just like, it's quaint. It's actually kind of cute. But it's like, you can see it's like, if you could have just put this kind of effort into all of the dialogue.
So I want to talk about the car chase, not the first one, but the second car chase towards the end when they're in the open road, back roads of Texas.
And they've commandeered, they got the pickup truck.
Right, yeah, they found a couple of migrant workers, and, the black dude and the girlfriend, they come up to this passel of migrant workers, and they said, hey, we need your car, and they're like, no speak English, and he pulls out the badge, and they instantly said, oh no, emigra, and they take off and leave the car, and there's one dude who actually speaks English, like, all right, dude, just take my truck, go, fine, whatever. So they get in there, and they're driving along, and then all of a sudden, the Tex and his two henchmen, they say, hey, that's them, turn around, and off to the car chase they go.
Right.
And they have captured Riggs at this point.
Yeah, and he's in the bad guy's car.
Yeah.
And they're threatening him. Yeah.
And he's in the back seat all tied up, and he's got one of the henchmen in the back with a gun pointed at him. Which then, as they start swapping lead with the black FBI agent in the truck. That's when Riggs manages to punch the dude, and they go flying onto the back of the
out the
back of the car, and they're hanging on to the thing, and they're fist fighting while the car is careening down the road.
Right. Murtaugh, he gets shot, and he's in the gal's lap, bleeding, while she's trying to drive the truck. And then she looks over and sees Riggs, and she's like, "Jump!" And he's like...
And that's when he has to get from the back of the car to the back, the bed of the pickup truck. And it's, again, a really good stunt. It's a kind of a gripping sequence. And then they manage to, there's this semi that's in the middle of the road that's kind of, it was coming across and it has some truck issues, so there's an obstruction of the road. They have to duck down, rip off the top of the pickup truck, just barely squeak under, and then the guys in Tex's car, Tex is bailed out by this point.
He got ejected.
Yeah, he got thrown from the car.
Two guys have gotten thrown from the car at this point.
The one guy's driving, chasing him down, realizes there's a truck here, which is labeled with like a big sign that says explosives, because so you know what's going to happen. And he's like, "I'll see you in hell," and then blows right into it, and then just the whole thing just blows the fuck up.
He finally gets to the point where they need to go. And there's the bridge, there's cars parked on it, and guys in suits with aviator sunglasses, and of course, the bad guy, who is working with the other bad guy, and he has the girl hide. There's two kids hot-dogging around on dirt bikes. He gets one of the dirt bikes and rides up onto the bridge. There's an interaction, and where it's revealed that the head FBI agent is a crooked FBI agent, and he's got in tow a bunch of other crooked FBI agents.
That's when the girlfriend, she realizes that things are getting kind of hinky, grabs I don't know where she came up with like Molotovs or something.
She made a Molotov
She made a Molotov cocktail. And so they're driving, she drives past, throws it, and there's an explosion, and then William Smith, he's being chased. Oh, and then Tex shows up, and he's on the, a BMX bike?
He got one of the other BMX bikes.
He got one of the BMX bikes, and he does a high fall off this bridge that's, probably, it's not quite as impressive as a 12-story building or the helicopter in the beginning, but it's an explosion, and he's on fire, and apparently the stuntman knocked his ass out when he hit the water. So it's a still significant jump, and it's still a great stunt.
The bad guy FBI agent has a machine gun. And here comes Tex doing a wheelie, and he shoots. They're supposed to be working together. Oh, but no, I'm going to shoot him. So he shoots the
Because
bike.
everybody wants the diamonds.
Yeah, everybody wants the diamonds. And motorcycle explodes in a ball of flame. That's where you get, yeah.
And the stuntman didn't quite get clear of the motorcycle, so that's what kind of screwed up the fall. Because you can kind of see it snagged on his pants as he's falling with the bike.
He kicks off of it. You can see it. Because there's a point where they're falling, and then suddenly separation. Because the guy's like, "I got to get away from this bike."
Because I'm on fire and I'm about to drop 50 feet.
Yeah. And of course, in the midst of all of this, it's revealed that Murtaugh's been kidnapped from the hospital, and he's in the back of this car, and...
Oh yeah, William Smith has a little dent in there, says, "Give me the diamonds or I'm going to blow your friend to hell."
Yeah.
Well, he got out of the car and got away, and then, William Smith hits the button on the detonator and blows up the car. And, of course, our good agent is like, "No, my friend." No, he got away.
Yeah, he's down there, and he's like, "Ah!" And it pans over to the black guy sitting next to the tree going, "Did you come over here?"
And then we get the coda where, okay, so Murtaugh and Riggs have been beat to absolute hell, and they're barely hanging on. The girlfriend comes over, and they're like, oh, there's the embrace and the hug, and like, let's get out of here. They get back up on the bridge, and Riggs goes into his pocket and is like, "Oh, look, diamonds. I guess I had a hole in the bag. And these never made it into the FBI registry. These aren't wanted by anybody." I guess we're going to go to the South Seas Islands with these things, and off they go, roll credits.
It's a fun movie just because it just lines up everything you need. I need an action movie. Here you go. Now, is this in the category of, and I already mentioned it, Commando, which has action sequences?
No,
It's not in that category. Is it in the category of
The Man from Hong Kong? I would say that if I had to pick between Action USA or The Man from Hong Kong, I would go The Man from Hong Kong. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because there's a little bit more polish and a little bit more creativity. And I mean, Sammo Hung, good kung fu, I'm always a sucker for that. However, I would not turn my nose up to Action USA.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if he'll ever get around to doing a sequel.
The day of Hal Needham saying, hey, I'm a stunt director. I want to direct a piece. What's Burt Reynolds doing? He's doing nothing for the weekend. Great. Let's make Smokey and the Bandit and Cannonball Run and Hooper.
Yes.
That age has kind of passed. We don't get that sort of craftsmanship from the stuntmen.
Correct. Yeah. It is sad.
All right, well, I think you're out of final thoughts, and I'm pretty sure I'm out of final thoughts. So shall we just wrap this up?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll catch you all next week then, I guess.
Hey, thank you for watching our review of Action USA. Our beginning of Creature Feature Month is going to be a review of Eight-Legged Freaks. That'll be next week. So, if you have any questions, observations, criticisms, or if you just want to say hi, please give us an email at thevideonastyproject@gmail.com. Also, remember to like and subscribe, click on the bell, and as always, stay evil.
Hey, wait, stop the car, it's rolling!